Pregame.com.
Bears at Packers, Thursday night NFL. Ace, I've got my pick on this, but I was driving to the studio. I heard you talking about this game, and you were 100% wrong. You had everything mixed up.
I was way off.
Way off. So why don't you, I'm going to give you a chance to make a 45-second case.
Before we get the CEO's opinion.
Before I correct you. So go.
Okay. More times than not, I'd be all over Green Bay in this spot. And today at the Tuesday meeting, Steve Fezzik made a great point. He said, you only get 8 home games, and they're more important than anything else. The best teams win 7 of these, sometimes 8 of these. All of a sudden, Green Bay finds himself in a situation where they could start off the season 0-2 at home. Again, more times than not, I would be on a team like this.
Sounds like you're making the case.
Especially when I think you got a good team that people are jumping off. It's like the stock market. When everyone's selling and it's a good company, I want to be buying.
Agreed. More Packers.
And this is the case with Green Bay. They're a good team, but I don't think anyone's selling. I think in this spot, they're going to say, you know what, Green Bay is not going to start the season 0-2.
Do you have a different line? Do you have a line that says 7.5?
No, it's 6. It's
All
6.
Right. So if you're saying that they're not selling yet, you're saying that you would have thought, you know, I expect this line to be 4. Was that what your mind? Is that where your mind was?
No.
Here's the thing.
No, but
it takes a big man to admit he's wrong. So at any point during this discussion, you can just say, "Listen, you're right. I was wrong." And then
I want to hear your argument. I want to hear your argument.
No, look at you.
Because I told you, usually I'd want to bet Green Bay in this spot, but the way they looked, and I've got some good points.
I heard what you said. Let me ask you a question though about your academic training. You dropped out of high school in, was it 9th grade or 10th grade?
Oh.
You.
Dude, I'm a Harvard graduate.
No, but seriously, I was going to ask you, was there a debate team like in junior high?
I wasn't on it. If there was, I wasn't on it.
All right. Let's look at how do you make a good point. You're wrong, but you make a good conceptual point. If someone has an opinion and the question isn't, is he right or wrong? The question is he right, and does the market disagree? So if I say the Browns stink, yeah, I'm probably right, but it's going to be hard to make a lot of money fading the Browns because the market accounts for it.
Agree.
So really, a starting point for any capper has to be his power rankings, and because that tells you what the line should be if there wasn't any public bias.
That's the foundation.
That's the foundation. That's correct. And to me, what we do with Vegas rankings, and it's something we're just, this week, we got the first numbers up on the year. We got Chris Andrews, a former bookmaker. You contribute. Steve Fezzik in the NFL, 2-time Hilton champion. We take a consensus of those numbers, put out the Vegas ranking. You can get those at pregame.com. But here's the thing, is when you look at these numbers, the Packers are at 97. The Bears are at 95, 2 points different on a neutral. Home field for the Packers, the best in the NFL, 4 points. 2 + 4 is 6. So what we're saying is the line is exactly what the line should be.
Based on the power rankings.
But based on strength of the team. Now the question is, what are the now you might say, why are you laying 110 if the line is exactly what it's supposed to be? My point is I've got a couple of factors other than that. But before I get into them, let's make the cases. If you're saying there's too much of a premium on the Packers, why in the heck is the number exactly what it should be then? You're saying the Packers haven't been sold properly, except the number 6, and it's supposed to be 6.
I agree with that point. But what I'm saying is I don't think people are ready to jump off this team because coming into the season, they're supposed to represent the NFC in the number. But the public hasn't spoken yet. So far, no wise guy has stepped up to the window and said, I see value.
You're saying if it goes to 7, you won't like the Packers. Agreed, but it's 6 right now.
Right, but what I'm saying is you're right. Because the number's so on point, you see no sharp stepped up to the window and said, I'm laying it or I'm taking it. So what you got to do as a bettor to lay 110 is find the fundamental reason,
and that's what we're
the
going to
matchup reason. That's what I want to know.
That's exactly the point. There's two ways, at least, to get to a positive EV play. One is fundamentally the power rankings. Your rankings are different than what the markets are, so you think his team's underrated, I'm just going to play them. Or the rankings are correct, but then there's outside factors.
That's why I like the Bears, the outside factors, but you tell me yours first.
Here's my outside factor. There's one that just jumps out at you. Since 1989 in the NFL, Thursday games, the home team is 165, lost 46 against the spread. 59% blind over 110 games. It's just simple. The NFL is built on routine. When you get a team out of their routine, playing a game, home or away doesn't matter on Sunday, then having to try, not having Monday to rest, not having to, however their routine is, then walk through on Thursday. They're playing on Thursday. It benefits the home team greatly.
Advantage Green Bay.
Advantage Green Bay to the point of 59%. Now, you might say, well, heck, yeah, but now it's been figured out. 6-4 last year. Better, again, small sample last year, 60% last year, 59% the last 20 plus years. To me, you take that with the ultra motivation of not wanting to go 0-2. As long as you're not paying a premium for that value, story's over. You got 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Let me counter that.
You can have a little more than 30
Let me counter that. Besides the fact that Green Bay can't run the football. We saw that last week. When your quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who's not a runner, he's not Michael Vick, leads your team in rushing, you're in trouble. And especially with Starks being banged up. So they have no one to run the football.
Isn't that built into the power rankings?
Exactly.
They can't run. If they could run and throw, they'd be the best.
They're supposed to be the best team, but
they're not. The Patriots are the best
agree,
team.
but here's my argument with your Thursday night thing. We need to break that down to a divisional game, because these two teams see each other twice. They've seen each other twice since before I went to high school. Okay,
or middle school.
In middle school, and so it doesn't take as much to prepare for Green Bay. Chicago already knows what they're going to get in Green Bay. I think if you're playing now, if Chicago was playing, a team they haven't played.
So, and I tend to agree with you. Is if you're on short rest, the question is how much preparation do you really need? You need less preparation for a familiar opponent. All right, you acquitted yourself well. We've talked it out. Now let's make the pick official. All right, guys, this is simple. VR is wrong. The pick here is the Packers -6. Grab it quick. It might go up. You've got the lines right, except for the Packers are ultra motivated. And you got the Thursday night factor, though a little bit mitigated, still strong. Lay the points, lay the 6 on the Packers. All right, my man. Did all right.
Not bad at all.
What'd you think?
That's what you expect from the CEO.
You think I should start selling?
You expect nothing less from the CEO.
Would you be a little scared if I started selling picks?
Yeah, I'd start to worry. We might be having a part-time work.
I'm giving them free. All right, guys, fun stuff, good stuff. Remember, we're doing a ton of videos this week, and you can get them all pregame.tv.
Pregame.com